Soul family, how are you guys doing? I welcome you to Soul's Tarot. So I'm back again doing this amazing reading, which is based on the Vedic and the Western astrology. So this transit happening, the Sun in Sagittarius happening. You could be watching the reading when it's really happening. You could be watching the reading post or a little prior, maybe possibly. But I'm tapping into the collective energies essentially. Okay, all my information, people, in the description box. Kindly have a look. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do. That helps the little community grow. And why postpone joy? One should spread joy, peace, happiness, and that's what I always say in the channel, on the channel. So the idea is to do this reading and to keep it very simple and relatable by making you understand as to how these astral transits, how they impact our situations, our experiences, happening in the 2D kind of dimension that we live in, right? So I'm going to use the monology cards here. So I'm going to talk about the current energies as to what's really rising in you, around you. Then going forward as to how we need to handle it, and the advice, the outcome per se. So I'm going to pull out this 3 spread card, and then we'll clarify the same with the tarot forecast. Okay, so if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do as I said earlier. Okay, my new joiners, I welcome you here. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm extremely indebted to all of you, my old joiners. Thank you so much for supporting, for liking, for subscribing to the channel, and also following us on Twitter and on Instagram. That really means a lot. I send you so much of love and light from this little space from where I connect with you guys, which is so amazing. Okay, keep that in mind. I do not do this for commercial reasons. I do not I have other means to really make bread and butter. So this is something as a light worker that I like doing, and I'm doing. And the idea is to take you on the path of truth, and to somehow help you stay enlightened in the journey, because together we heal. And there's so much that I learn from you guys each day, every day, whenever I experience and get in touch with you guys. So thank you so much for that, and do subscribe if you like the reading. Okay, so let's move on. So I'm going to surrender to the light, and I'm going to call upon Michael Gabriel. Show me the messages, Blueberry Gulshan Ji, that I need to see for the viewer watching, which is the best. What are the messages that are best for the viewer watching with the Sun in transit happening? So I surrender to the light, and let's see what's coming up. From the water spaces, Scorpio being the water sign, we are going towards the fiery kind of energy, right? We are entering into the dynamic energy of Sagittarius. So obviously it's different. Both the planes are very different, right? They work differently, they operate differently. So let's see really what is rising up, and I'm going to explain the transit to you while going forward. So this is really about, it is time to release negativity. Okay, full moon in Scorpio. Where you could be watching this when there's a full moon around you. There's a possibility that you need to release things from your end, somehow, so that you can stick to what seems good for you, is meant for you, is for your highest good only. So divine directions is what they show me, honestly, for you guys. And when you do that, a win-win outcome is, of course, forecasted. So when you release negativity, anything that feels toxic, anything that feels not so great in the understanding, anything that feels heavy and burdensome, basically it is about releasing it. Either you go for it or you just release it from your system, right? And I think in the coming days the idea is to build upon those elements and release it. And do release, if you're watching this on the full moon and or prior post the full moon, just I'm sure that you've released something, my people, beautiful people, that that is going to serve you in a much better way, probably, that you don't see right now. And these are like personal ways of dealing with it, because it's very experiential, right? So whatever phases that you're going through, they're or you've been through, they were not easy, but the collective energy is that it's all coming to an end for your own good, for your highest good, and you need to accept that, you need to understand that. So I'm going to pull out the outcome after some time, when I lay the spread for tarot. That's how they're telling me, that don't take out the outcome as of now. But all through the energy, if we talk about, what I really see is that it is more so to balance, with this. If you see, it's about balancing the inner landscape and the external landscape beautifully, right? So that by the time you move into Scorpio season next year, you are in a much better position, and you've got higher wisdom, to understand all these things and all these understandings, with the Fool, right at the bottom striking out. It is amazing because Sagittarius is more Aquarian. Sagittarius basically is about, you know um, growing. It is about exploring. It's the adventurous kind of vibe that at times, your logical head will not understand. A Fool does that, right? It does that. So Sag really is associated with that kind of philosophy, that kind of understanding, wherein you will be in pursuit of happiness that's not just limited to one dynamic. It's going to go forward in various other situations in itself. So that is going to be the universal understanding. So, and that's what needs to be taken into consideration, that's how it's going to pan out. So let's see what are they suggesting us with the tarot focus. What do we need to see, Michael, for the highest good with the sun in transit happening for my viewer watching? I am repeating again, only energies we tap into, no genders, okay? No reversals. And also please watch your sun, moon and rising, guys, okay? So Sagittarius is like, it's half and half, 50-50. So it is like half is like the horse figure, and the other is more like a man, the masculine feminine kind of energy. So let's see, what do we need to see? It is about really releasing. Fool seems apt, honestly, or maybe like that kind of energy where in transformation or that leap of faith one needs to take, because soul growth is happening. There is upgrade which is happening, and this theme is actually running for a while. So moving beyond the physical purpose is something that would be highlighted. It would be about embracing it all, which is so divine and feels, Ace of Cups, Cancer, water energy again, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have full moon in Scorpio. So this is really about releasing it all for your highest good. Don't feel stuck, don't feel stagnant, don't feel confused, because just know that whatever you're experiencing right now, whatever you're going through right now, that has to happen so that you can gain more wisdom. You are being guided, okay? You are going through this because you're being guided. This is something that you've manifested somehow, and this is also about telling you that you have to be in a situation or deal with people or circumstances of a certain kind, so that you can embrace the divine direction as they were showing me, and also keep you in the progression zone, right? Tell you that growth is the only way. You cannot be stuck, right? So this is a very collective energy that I'm tapping into. Keep that in mind. And whatever it is, that was serving you, not serving you, whichever way this is resonating, just take it. If you think that this was highly stimulating, accept it that way. If you think that, and be grateful about it, okay? It's either way, it is about you realizing and saying that, what, I know that I'm divinely guided. I know that I'm protected. So it is about that 50-50 energy of the sign itself, saying that, what, I will understand both. Because when we make a heart today, like it runs like that. You make a heart like that. When you go join those two hands, they become a heart, right? So that's where the 50-50 balance kind of comes into play. That comes into the truth. So now the question is really, this is the core pertinent energy rising around that, whether you're ready for this and how you should be ready for this, right? That is what one needs to understand with the transit. So this transit stays till Jan last week, if I'm not mistaken. 22nd, 3rd, 4th, could be, depending on the astral placements. The idea is that how do you narrow it all down? Because there's a bow and a archer, right? So how will you narrow it down so that there's a win-win outcome that is seen? How do you stay grounded for the same? Because this could be like very, very powering, very overwhelming. and something that takes you away into different directions. As I said, divine directions, they're telling me. Absolutely, the Tower. It is like the bulb moment, that epiphany that happens, that comes to you, that give you those higher sense of understanding and tells you that how you need to stay connected. And 2022 would be an amazing period for those who are in the Chinese horoscope. They fall under the rabbit, right? So this has a rabbit, okay? So it is going to be hugely gratifying, uh, healthy, stimulating, sort of an experience for most of you, or some of you, I hope, who are watching, provided you stay in that understanding where you need to stay connected to your vision. You have to hold your vision, whatever it is. If you do that and you try and seek forward, you would be learning so much more, right? So the idea is to release all that is not serving, and just keep your thoughts supremely positive around this time, and say that I am in that kind of energy, right? Queen of Pentacles, absolutely. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this is really about knowing, you know, that it's all good, in that space, and that's where the win-win outcome is forecast. So this is about striking that amazing balance of the inner and the external landscape, more or less. She's that kind of queen, and she's sorted, she's stable, she's very grounded, and she doesn't store too much in her heart like the Queen of Cups, right? So she is releasing those old emotions and patterns, also more to do with patterns, I think mental patterns, with the Tower here that I see. Releasing those mental patterns and saying that I am ready to transform and embrace that divine love or divine direction, whichever way this is coming around to me. And I'm ready for that emotional upgrade, really. Because once that happens, once you release those kind of uh, those feelings that are stored in your mental place for a long time, is where you start moving towards better energies, right? That is the rising energy. So ideally, that's what this states, that you would be perfect as long as you know that you have shed some light, or divine direction has come into being and play with the epiphany, that you're ready to embrace that divine understanding, love, whatever. And you are ready to focus on the stability, the longevity, and the positivity of a situation. You're not falling for things that seem very shallow, right? So no drama basically is what you're saying, that I don't want that. So a lot of transformational energy I see here for many of us, many of you as well. And this is about changing it. This is about changing it to the core, because this transit energy is more than what we can really relate with. Comprehension can be very different from the aspect of my side, or your side can be very different, right? Because situations are very different. But there are those little barricades, that we place for ourselves, that stop our growth, right? That is what we need to understand, that we don't need to do that. We don't need to stay stuck there, okay? Because the wheel is turning, Jupiter, it is turning, and it has a major role to play. As I said, many of us are going to benefit big time, and this is about sense of balance. This is about knowing that finally, it is turning in the direction it needs to turn, and you are ready for it. You're being prepared for it, because it is divinely guided, right? So honestly, when I see this spread, and I try and see, it is about creating things, wherein you strike that balance between your head and your heart, and you say that whatever limitations or barricades, or things that were holding me back, I am ready to really go for the moon and the stars now, because it's turning in my favor, and I'm going in that direction because I'm led by it. It feels right to me. It feels really right to me. And that is where, once it feels right, it is right? The science of feeling is something that we all need to understand. It is that amazing upgrade that one gets once you've done your healing, once you have that sense of compassion, once you know that, you know what, there's no space of negativity in our lives. And whatever we may say, you know, our creativity, our love, our equations, everything seems to go smoothly, you know. So it's a wonderful time coming forward for many of us. Six of Cups. Isn't that amazing? It is so amazing. This is like really about breaking out those patterns, challenging that, howsoever it may seem, because the transformation is here. It is happening. It is going to happen. Whatever we, because the energy is felt here, you know, it is very intense. Could be a love dynamic specifically. For some of you, your relationships would see a major upgrade. It would see a major transformation, like a turn. Could be rebounds, could be good reconciliations, good understandings coming into play. You know, partnerships can be very suddenly turn very healthy and strong, because there's a sense of understanding that comes into play, more or less, whichever dynamic, you know, it's playing with you. Make sure that, you know, you don't stay high all the time, because that could be very confusing. Make sure that you balance, you're grounded, because the Queen of Pentacles is very grounded kind of energy. It is, with the wheel here, there is a chance of uncanny, you know, when times are good, feel good. Six of Cups, there's a vibe that at times, you know, we fall in that zone. We don't have to do that. That's where that sense of balance is extremely, extremely needed. We need to stay inspired. We need to stay optimistic. We need to know that, you know, all is happening in divine direction. Okay. Also, needless to say that, you know, you have to see from the lenses that the Lord, the sacred deity, is offering you. You cannot wear your own shades and say, you know what, I see it all blue or I see it all red. No, you have to go with the energy in the ebb and the flow as to how they're taking it. You have to align your masculine and your feminine energies together, because that is what the 50-50 is about, right? Because it's all within you, completely within you. Okay. And know that once you're able to do that, once you're able to kind of embrace that with all your heart, you know, great opportunities in whichever dynamic, they start opening up for you. Whatever is stalled starts moving. So there's loads of travel that may happen. There could be a lot of fun times engaged here, but really it is about pushing yourself a little more than usual. Okay. So that's what they show me with the sun in Sagittarius happening. Fiery, dynamic, sense of release, change, which would prevail all through. Yes, inspiration, travel, clarity, fire energy. This is something which seems so amazing. Okay, when I say that, why I say that? See, this is the energy that tells you that, you know what, it's all good. It's just so good. Why? For the simple reason that it is high. Okay, it is inspired, it is optimistic, it is so Sagittarian, it is strong, right? It is faith, it is hope, it is dancing to the tunes of the universe, with, as Shiva says, that, you know, you have to honor your inner force and you have to continue doing that. And the sun has no limits. There are no limits to it. The limits are only in the mind. Okay, they're just in the mind. So those limitations are being shed, they are being taken away, for the simple reason that there's so much to you that you need to go forward and embrace. And that is where, you know, the change is going to happen. So I think the whole idea, I think, of the reading is simple, is that drop the limitations. They say, you know, your dreams can really turn into reality. So it's that kind of time wherein it's all big, it's really big. Okay. And the idea of, you know, upscaling, the idea of pushing yourself more so would feel more important in times of this transit. Okay. And you would like to take that leap of faith with the Fool, you know, you would like to go forward and you would like to start things with a fresh new perspective. And I think all your initiatives, efforts would be greatly appreciated and applauded by the divine, because it's kind of directed. As long as you stay rooted and connected, you know, it is going to pan out in your favor. Uh, so I'm gonna just keep it here. If you're interested in the extended, you can definitely connect. But I'm gonna pull out the outcome as it was suggested. In the end, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna pull out a final outcome card from the tarot. Okay. So what is the outcome for the same? For although they've given a win-win outcome is forecast, right? So let's see what is that advice the spirit is giving, the deities are sending you. Nothing can really hold you back. Okay, nothing can really hold you back anymore. Gibbous moon, absolutely. So full moon is basically the time when it seems all okay. That's where you release things that don't serve you. You say your prayers. You say that you're very grateful. A win-win outcome. So both in tangent and the advice again is that you're very close to achieving your goal. Don't for a second doubt that this is not happening, because this is happening and this is going to happen. The moon has to turn full no matter what. So do things that make you happy, go to places that keep you happy, that bring you in the energy. So this is about time to feel good, stay good in the energy both ways, right? And honestly, I feel that don't let anything uh, tell you that you're any less. Okay, nothing should hold you back around this time, because you might feel that sense of situation where you might question it, and you might say that, oh, this is how it had to. And there could be a possibility that you might say, you know what, I'm done, I can't take it anymore. But they're saying that don't, please don't give up, because this is going to be extremely amazing, that you need to embrace. You'll have to push yourself. You'll have to get out of the comfort zone. You'll have to expand. This is like expansive energy, okay, very very expansive. So could be like the hide and seek will get over, honestly. So you would know this is right, this is not right. You would know the difference between that, which is amazing, right? And that is what really this energy is going to do. Very expansive energy this is, okay? So how will this help? The advice, they tell me that stay very optimistic, stay very positive around this time. Upscale yourself, learn new skills in whichever dynamic field you're in, meet more people, invite the energy you wish to be with. The moment you see that someone is draining your energy, is not feeling right, that's a red flag. Okay, but remind yourself that it's an experience. Embrace it, take your learning and move forward. Don't stay stuck. That's the shift you need to bring about. So this transit is your chance to really experience a very strong optimistic way of living and saying things in a more progressive and positive manner, and acknowledging as to how the divine supports you all the time, right? So this is what I have for you. When the sun transits in Sag. Okay, so whenever you watch the reading, it's a very timeless reading, collective reading. The tarot forecast happens, it's a divination tool that we use. Okay, so I'm going to pull out a divine direction card as to what would be the core focus here, or what is the direction they're giving us. 3 cards is what they tell me to pull out. I'm going to do that. Michael, show me the messages given that I need to see for the collective watching. Okay, Saturn, of course, is a major player. Okay, and it is about all encompassing, and abundance is what has to come to you no matter what. Sarvabhadra. So I would like to do that because somebody has requested that reading in Hindi that I'm going to do. But for now, I can just say that it is your time under the sun, okay, with the sun in Sagittarius. I hope and I wish to title this reading like that. It is your time in the sun. The sun in Sagittarius. Trust it. Let's see. That's the change you need to embrace. What do we need to see? Michael, show me the messages of divine direction that we need to see. So make most of it, right? Enjoy the bliss that this brings in. What do we need to see? What do we need to see? So whatever is not serving you, let it go. Okay. And what feels great, be grateful Oh, so yeah, so much of positivity, so much of enthusiasm, um, so much of sun energy, central sun, happiness. Wow, I love it. Please give us three cards, Michael. Give us three cards for the viewer watching. Move. They say get up, get active, get into things. Like I said, learn a new skill, trade, whatever. Move mentally, physically. Keep moving, keep challenging. Then we have energy. Try to have positive energies around you. Surround yourself with positive people who bring about the best in you. You know, spend time, travel, go to people, meet people who bring about the good side in you, and you like spending time with such people, right? Embrace such energies who don't drain you, who add up to you more, right? I always take a flip, or I can't like just. What is the divine direction for the collective watching? One card, Michael. Yeah. Communicate with others more freely. Speak up. You have a right to be heard. So do watch your natal chart, Mercury. Again, this is about, again, this is so much. This is so much to do with how you feeling inside. Say that, express it outside in the world. That's the energy. Get that energy moving, okay? No, there was a song, I don't know, lies, something to do, I don't know, I'm not getting the name, but it is about truths and lies, and to see things in the energy, keeping yourself positive, communicating right, because at times, when we don't say certain things in a certain way, people don't understand, right? So make sure that you're doing that correctively, okay? With move here, stay active, stay in the energy, keep yourself positive, surrounded completely, so that people see you in that kind of understanding, and communicate right. Okay, so this is what I have for you as the sun makes the transit in Sagittarius. I hope this really works for you whenever you watch the reading. If you're an old subscriber and you haven't subscribed, a watcher, I may say viewer, please subscribe to the channel, help the community grow. I would greatly indebted. My old joiners, thank you so much for being here. My new joiners, thank you so much. Subscribe the button, press the bell icon, so that when the next video is uploaded. And I send you so much of love and happiness and the sun energy towards you in the most good way. Stay abundant, stay safe until eternity. I shall see you the next time. Bye for now.